Hi, I'm Kim Clemens, and I'm going to be talking about the Amish Church. If you happen to live in a state where there is not an Amish community, or maybe not close to one, you may not be as familiar with this precious group of people. But the Amish Church actually comes from the European Anabaptist. The Mennonites and the Amish broke away. The Amish were actually part of the Mennonites, and then when there were religious differences between those groups, Jacob Ammon, who was a Mennonite bishop in Switzerland, started this new group. As religious persecution grew in Europe, there was at first 21 families that crossed the ocean and came to this new land. And soon after, within the next 50 years, there were about 3,000 Amish who had made that journey. And today, most of those Amish families live in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, making up about 2/3 of the Amish population in the United States. But there are Amish communities in Colorado, Texas, here in Tennessee, also as far north as Maine. Often they search for those rural communities because they try to avoid the cities if possible. Most of them are farmers, and of course they need that rural land for their farms, but also they believe that farming is a way to show stewardship to God and stewardship to His creation, the earth. They are a very simple people in regard to their way of life. They're often known for trying to avoid the use of technology. Behind me you see possibly the image of the buggy. That's one of the well-known images that we have close to us with this group of people. And they're plain dress, as they believe that you should dress plainly, not draw attention to yourself. And according to the Ohio History Central website, they believe that they should dedicate themselves to God through this lifestyle. It is their way to be separate from the world. They are to shun others that don't live a godly life, and they have a very strict code of behavior and lifestyle that's unwritten. But again, if someone in the community does not follow this guideline, they can be shunned, and often will have to ask for forgiveness to be accepted back in. Some of their basic values and their faith: they believe putting God and community ahead of the individual. They believe in a life of goodness rather than a life of intellect. A life should be lived as a spiritual activity. Wisdom is more important than technical knowledge. Community welfare is more important than competition and trying to get ahead of each other. And they believe, again, in separation from the modern worldly society. Again, that's not that technology is evil, but that often they believe it hurts the community and their willingness to work together. They believe in non-resistance and seeking peaceful resolutions to conflict if at all possible. And often they are known as pacifists or conscientious objectors. They celebrate the same holy days as most other Christian denominations. Their worship is a little bit different, as they meet in their home, and it's designed to accommodate a large group. But they have a 3-hour preaching service every 2 weeks, and there they will share a meal. They have communion twice a year, and the ministers will sometimes go upstairs to have prayer and meet together, while the rest of the congregation will sing hymns. Their hymns, it says, is a little bit different from most of the churches that we're familiar with. They are sung very slow, and it says a hymn can take up to 20 minutes to sing. Their prayer is often silent, but their sermon is Bible-based, and they will have that sermon and a Bible reading. Sometimes testimonies will be given by the minister and occasionally by other people in the community. And again, singing is an important part, as they will close their service once more with another hymn. And whether young or old, prayer is very much encouraged among these people. Today, there are about 261,000 living in the United States. And I encourage you to learn more about this precious group of people. Thank you.